Looking for the best places to live in Charlotte, North Carolina? That's coming up. My name is Eli Magids and I'm a real estate advisor here in Charlotte, North Carolina and the surrounding areas of South Carolina, specializing in luxury homes, new home construction, and custom homes. But most importantly, I'm your realtor with heart. I'm not trying to sell you a house, but here to help you find a home and a lifestyle that you and your family are gonna love. If you think we are a good fit, contact information is down below. Love to hear from you. So people always ask me, where's the best place for me to live? It's all going to be dependent on you and the lifestyle that you are looking for. It depends on whether you want great schools for your kids or you're going to send them to private school. Depends if you have a very large budget or you have a moderate budget. It depends on whether you want to be very close to uptown Charlotte or it doesn't really matter. Do you need to be close to the airport? How close do you want to be to all shopping? So there are multiple factors. I'm going to give you about 25 or 30 of the best places to live in Charlotte, according to me. Here we go. Let me just say that this list is not necessarily in the order in which I think that you should live. I'm going to start going from the South Charlotte area, working back, going kind of clockwise around the whole Charlotte area, going up north and back over to the east side of Charlotte. So number doesn't necessarily mean the best place. If you see number one, Myers Park. Myers Park is probably the most prestigious area in all of Charlotte, the oldest area in Charlotte, right up next to uptown Charlotte. Friendly, everybody waving, everybody out, gorgeous tree-lined streets. Probably very, very, very expensive. Older homes, very few new homes unless older homes have been knocked down and rebuilt. Number two on the list, Eastover, very close to Myers Park. It's its little sister, although I, in my opinion, like Eastover better than I like Myers Park. Again, older homes, not as old as Myers Park, full of very large mansions, very, very expensive homes. Figure you got to spend $2.5 million for a house in Eastover, but it is a great area. Again, very walkable, people out and about, kids all over. It's a great neighborhood, one of my favorites. Number three is the area called Foxcroft, Old Foxcroft. This is located in an area very close to the South Park area where there's lots of shopping. This Foxcroft area has beautiful older neighborhoods. A lot of the older homes have been knocked down, new ones have been built. Again, you're looking at about $2 million and up for some of the newer homes. There are lesser expensive homes in that neighborhood as well. Proximity to everything is great. Foxcroft, number three. Right next to Foxcroft is the area of South Park. South Park is not necessarily a neighborhood, but a bunch of neighborhoods made up. There are some very high-end neighborhoods in South Park, and there are some middle ground neighborhoods in South Park. Beauty of South Park is that it is close to all kinds of shopping and restaurants. It is ideally located, close to uptown Charlotte and everything that you're ever going to need. That's South Park. Going a little bit west, you have the area of Quail Hollow, Carmel Estates. These are very upscale areas, golf courses. Homes here are going to be in the $2-3 million. You can get homes that need work that are going to probably be in the $800,000 or $900,000 range. This is a very prestigious area as well. Number six on the list, Dilworth. Dilworth is probably one of my favorite neighborhoods as well because of charm. It is small bungalow style homes, close to uptown Charlotte, close to the very happening South End area. Not a lot of areas to live in the South End area, so Dilworth would be a great place to live. Older homes, bungalow style, redone most of them inside, some of them have been knocked down, close to shopping, very walkable, lots of younger families in the area. Dilworth, first streetcar neighborhood in Charlotte, definitely one to check out. One of my favorites. Price point in Dilworth, figure you're gonna spend $1 million plus for a smaller home in the Dilworth neighborhood. On the other side of Myers Park in Eastover is an area called Cotswold. Cotswold Also, very, very highly desirable area to live, close to everything. Cotswold is less expensive than your Myers Park and your Foxcroft. Homes here are going to be about $1.5 million on average. Now, some of the homes are older, $700,000, $800,000. Some of the homes have been knocked down and newer ones have been built, and they're going to be about $2.5 million. But that's Cotswold. Very, very beautiful neighborhood. Now, surprisingly, all those areas that I just spoke about, while they're close to uptown Charlotte, great locations, don't necessarily have the highest rated schools based on greatschools.org. You would think that the most expensive areas would have the greatest schools, but based on greatschools.org, that is not the case. Plenty of private schools in the area. Public schools are good, but not the highest rated. Another neighborhood that is very similar to Cotswold with bungalow style homes and an area that's really up and coming, it's actually here, but it's continuing to boom, is the neighborhood of Plaza Midwood or Midwood. It's an older neighborhood. Some of the homes have been knocked down. Newer homes have been built on top of those, which is par for the course because there's no land. It's close to uptown Charlotte. It's kind of a little bit more offbeat. Great for families, young couples. It is a very, very eclectic type of neighborhood. Again, one of my favorites, similar to Cotswold, just on the opposite side, more on the eastern side than on the western side of uptown Charlotte. One of my favorites, again, Plaza Midwood. Now moving down Providence Road, which is your major street going from uptown Charlotte, further south is an area called the Arboretum area. Arboretum area is just an encompassing area containing many, many neighborhoods. It is a very, very highly desirable area, great location. Depending on the neighborhood, you're going to have very, very highly rated schools, some of the most highly rated schools in all of Charlotte. And in other parts of it, you're going to have decent schools based on greatschools.org. So it's going to be very, very neighborhood dependent. These homes in this area, the Arboretum area, are going to be more affordable than the areas that I have just spoken about. You can get a home in these areas, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 would be kind of the sweet spot. You can also go up to $1.2 or $2 million in the same vicinity. That's the Providence Road, Pineville Matthews area, the Arboretum area. Very highly desirable, close to all kinds of shopping. Some of the neighborhoods have some really highly rated schools. The Arboretum area, in my opinion, one of the best areas to live. Bang for your buck, right neighborhood, great schools. Areas 9 and 10 are going to be the areas of Stonecrest and Blakeney. It's right off of a street called Ray Road, right next to Providence Road. The Stonecrest area, Stonecrest Shopping Center, tons of shopping, close to the 485 highway. Great location, some great, great, beautiful neighborhoods. Going back further south are the areas of Blakeney, another shopping center, great homes all around this area. $700,000, $800,000, $500,000. Could spend millions of dollars in a neighborhood called Piper Glen, but that's neighborhood number 9. Or Ballantyne is another great area off of a street called Johnston Road, which is parallel to Ray Road and Providence Road. A super, super area to live. Homes you can get for $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 up into the $5 million range in the Ballantyne Country Club. Tons of shopping, close to the highways, close to the airport, highly desirable. Lots of commerce in the area. A golf course in one of the hotels has been taken over, and they have built an amphitheater and all kinds of facilities soon to open up with restaurants. Ballantyne, another hot area in the Charlotte metro area to look for homes. Schools here are also highly rated based on greatschools.org. Now, when I talked about the Arboretum area, part of the Arboretum area will go a little bit east and it will turn into an area called Matthews. Now, part of Matthews is located in Mecklenburg County, which is Charlotte. Part of Matthews is located in Union County, different school districts. But the higher end homes that are in the Matthews area in Mecklenburg County are zoned for phenomenal schools. The ones in Union County are beautiful as well in Matthews and are zoned for Union County schools, which are also phenomenal. Now, there are parts of Matthews that I don't necessarily love. So Matthews can be a phenomenal place to live depending on what part of Matthews you choose. Right next to Charlotte-Mecklenburg County line is another county. Not Mecklenburg County, but Union County. So parts of Matthews are in Union County. And then there are 3 major or 4 major areas in Union County which are super highly desirable. One of them is Weddington. Weddington is probably one of the most affluent areas in all of Charlotte. McMansions, great schools. Depending on where in Weddington you're located, you're going to be very close to shopping. So Weddington is a phenomenal area. Another highly desirable area, very highly desired schools, is Marvin, an area very close to Weddington, kind of lumped in together with Weddington, but different schools. One is Weddington schools, one is Marvin schools, McMansions. Here you're going to spend a ton of money on a house because of the school district, and there are a lot of McMansions, but very highly desirable area. Going a little bit further south from Marvin is an area called Waxhaw. Again, highly rated schools, very, very popular. Prices are a little bit lower than the Weddington Marvin area, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000. In the Waxhaw area will get you a home, a very nice home in the Waxhaw area. Also very close to the Weddington and Waxhaw area is an area called Wesley Chapel. Also a very highly desirable area. Most of the homes there are zoned for Weddington schools, which are again are highly desirable. Shopping all around. You're going to be a little bit further away from uptown Charlotte, further away from the airport, but you're going to get a little bit more for your money. Areas like Marvin, Weddington, you'll typically get larger lots as well. So that's Union County, that's Marvin, Weddington, Waxhaw, Wesley Chapel. Now right next to Ballantyne is the border to South Carolina. South Carolina is part of the Charlotte metro area and a very popular area. One of the most booming areas right now in the Charlotte metro area is the suburb of Indianland, South Carolina. Indianland, South Carolina gets to use a lot of what Charlotte has, right? The football team, proximity to the Charlotte Douglas International Airport. Taxes are a little bit lower. A lot of newer home developments are in Indianland. If you're looking for a newer home, Indianland is a phenomenal place to look because of its proximity, lower taxes, and upscale homes. Schools are also highly rated. You need to check those out on greatschools.org. Also, speaking of another town in South Carolina is Fort Mill, South Carolina. Super, super popular. Many, many neighborhoods in Fort Mill, South Carolina. South Carolina is probably one of the hottest areas, the ones right next to Charlotte in the Charlotte metro area. Fort Mill has highly rated schools. Everybody's going down there for highly rated schools, and you've got some phenomenally beautiful neighborhoods. You can get a home in the Fort Mill area for $500,000 or $600,000, and you can spend $4 million in the Fort Mill area. Fort Mill area, parts of it are highly built up, like the area close to Baxter Village off of a Highway 160, very close to the 77 highway. And there's other parts of Fort Mill that are not as built up. So you're going to get more land for your money, but you're going to have to travel to go and get your groceries and your restaurants. So there's 2 different parts of Fort Mill. If you're interested in Fort Mill, we can discuss that further. So that's another phenomenal area, Fort Mill, South Carolina. Staying in Fort Mill, right next to Fort Mill, there's a lake. There's a lake called Lake Wiley, very highly desired area. Tega Cay is a town that is very, very popular, very close to Fort Mill and the Baxter Village where there's lots of shopping. Tega Cay, you can be on the water, near the water. Schools, again, greatschools.org has schools as highly desirable, considered one of the best places to raise a family in the Charlotte metro area. That is Tega Cay. Hopping back into North Carolina is an area called Palisades. The Palisades is a little bit off the beaten track. It's a little bit of a distance to drive to shopping. A lot of people do shopping actually in Fort Mill, South Carolina, from the Palisades. There are multiple neighborhoods in the Palisades. Palisades is a big geographic area. There is a country club there that you can join if you live in the Palisades, which has every bell and whistle. There are 55 and over communities like the Regency of Palisades. There are multiple areas. Down in this area is an area called the Sanctuary. This is one of the most spectacular areas. If you want 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 acres with a custom home, the Sanctuary is the place for you. I don't necessarily know that if you have kids that you want to live there, but the Palisades Sanctuary area, phenomenal area to live, gorgeous, absolutely stunning. Very close to Uptown, surprisingly, and to the airport. We'll have to travel a little bit for your shopping. So that is the Palisades and the Sanctuary. Staying in Mecklenburg County, there's an area called Steele Creek. Steele Creek was an undesirable area, but they had built outlet malls, Charlotte Premium Outlets. Since the building of the Charlotte Premium Outlets, this place has exploded, has become a very, very popular area to live. Steele Creek is very convenient to the highway, convenient to Uptown Charlotte, and prices in the Steele Creek area are on the more affordable side than a lot of the other areas that I have just discussed. So that's Steele Creek, a great area to live as well. Now going a little bit west is the town of Belmont. Belmont is one of my new favorites. Belmont has an unbelievable downtown, very active, lots of restaurants, bars, things to do in Belmont. Belmont is also located on Lake Wylie, so you can also get a custom home built in Belmont on Lake Wylie. It's going to cost you a pretty penny, but I love Belmont. Schools in Belmont are highly rated. I would check those out as well. One of my favorites. A lot of the homes here in Belmont are on the more affordable side, but there are some neighborhoods that are just very, very expensive as well in Belmont. Belmont used to be very, very inexpensive, but has exploded in the last 5 years or so. So Belmont, one of my favorites as well. Right next to Belmont is an area called McAdenville, which is Christmastown, USA. They really pumped this place up during the Christmas time. It's known as one of the greatest light displays in all of America. That's McAdenville, right close to Belmont, but I like Belmont. Now we're gonna move up north. Going up north from Uptown Charlotte off of I-77 is Huntersville, a major, major area to live. Phenomenal place to live, tons of shopping. Major street there is gonna be Sam Fur Road. Tons of commerce there. It does get kind of crowded on Sam Fur Road. However, it is convenient to Uptown Charlotte. It has a wide variety of places to live. Price points are going to be anywhere from $500,000 up to a couple of $1 million in Huntersville, one of my favorite places. Going up a little bit further north is the town of Cornelius. Cornelius is associated with Lake Norman. Lake Norman real estate is very, very expensive if you're on the lake. Even if you're off the lake, it's expensive. Cornelius is probably my favorite area up near the Lake Norman area. It's not as crowded as Huntersville. It does have shopping. It has schools that are highly rated. However, you're not going to have as much shopping as you will in Huntersville. A lot of people go from Cornelius down to Huntersville to shop if they can't find what they're looking for in Cornelius. But plenty of supermarkets, plenty of restaurants in the Cornelius area. Also within 5 or 10 minutes of Huntersville. Next town going up north, one of my favorites and one of the most expensive areas is Davidson, associated with Davidson College. Gives this place a great vibe because it's got young, it's got highly educated. It is expensive for what you're getting. Probably one of the most expensive areas and highly educated areas in all of the Charlotte metro area. Downtown Davidson, very quaint, very charming. Davidson, close to the lake as well. Shopping, not a lot of shopping in Davidson, but you're gonna go down to Cornelius, or you're gonna go down to Huntersville, or you're gonna go north up to Mooresville. But I love Davidson, Awesome vibe in Davidson. Very, very cool place to live. Going further north is Mooresville. Mooresville also associated with Lake Norman. If you're going to be on the lake, very, very expensive real estate. Plenty of shopping in the area, but you can get homes in the Mooresville area that are in the $500,000 range, and you can spend up to $10 million in the Mooresville area as well. Mooresville is known as Racetown, USA, because 75 or 80% of all race car teams are headquartered in Mooresville, North Carolina. Even the F1 team, Haas, is located in Mooresville, North Carolina. I love Mooresville. I don't know what number we're up to. We might be up to number 25 or 26, but a sleepy area, one that is really coming into its own on Lake Norman, but on the other side of Lake Norman is the area of Denver. Denver has some phenomenal neighborhoods. On the water, off the water. Home prices can be $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 up to millions and millions of dollars. One of the race car drivers is selling his home in the Denver area for, I think it's $12 million. So Denver is a little quieter than, let's say, Cornelius or a Mooresville or a Huntersville. But the quietness is part of its charm. You can get a house right on the water or off the water. Denver is very, very close to uptown Charlotte, close to the airport, and a super place to live. Super place if you have kids to raise them. Highly rated schools. Denver, do not count out Denver. I think we're up to 28 or 29, not even sure, but Concord and Harrisburg, they're right next to each other. They're in the northeast portion of Charlotte. More affordable than the other areas that I have spoken about. Very nice areas to live. Lots of new building in Concord and in Harrisburg. Lots of people love living in those two areas. Proximity to Concord Mills Mall, which is the largest shopping area in Charlotte and the biggest tourist attraction. I don't see the allure to the mall itself, but the area is very nice. Harrisburg, lots of new construction and an up-and-comer. Another area that I love is Mint Hill. Mint Hill is a great area as well. It's got a great downtown with shopping. It's right along Highway 51, which is a major shopping street, very near Costco, very close to highways. It is a great area to live. Homes there you can get in the $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 range, even a new home for $600,000 or $700,000. And you can go to a neighborhood like Cheval, where I do a lot of work, where you can get a home for $3 or $4 million that has an equestrian center in the middle of it. Mint Hill, one of my favorite areas. Need to check that one out as well. And last but not least on my list is going to be an area that is a little bit off the radar, about an hour outside of Charlotte. It's called Clover, South Carolina. Beautiful area, great place to raise kids. Now these are my top 25 or 30. These are my choices. There are other areas. Some of the areas that I did not mention, I don't necessarily love. If you're looking for a home on the water, you're going to want to be in Cornelius, in my opinion, or Mooresville. If you're looking for North Charlotte and quiet, family-oriented, kind of Davidson is a phenomenal place to live. If you're looking for places that have all kinds of stuff and things going on, South Charlotte might be your jam. If you're looking for highly rated schools, Union County has some of the highest rated schools, and parts of the Arboretum area, parts of the Matthews area have the highest rated schools. If you're looking for prestige and old school charm, you're looking in Myers Park, you're looking in Eastover, you're looking in Foxcroft, and you're looking in South Park. If you're looking for a golf club community, you're looking in Ballantyne, you're looking in Marvin, you're looking in Myers Park, you're looking in Plaza Midwood. There are many, many areas that have many different things depending on what you're looking for. So I hope that gives you a good overview. I have a link down below to a guide that's going to tell you a lot more about all of these areas. And most importantly, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching, and until we see each other again next time.